Hi, everybody. Deb Hallisey here from Advocate for Mom and Dad. I want to welcome you to the National Caregivers Conference Authors Corner, and I'm the author of a book called Your Caregiver Relationship Contract. I bet you're thinking, wait, what? Relationships are a contract? I think so. And I think so for two reasons. I think that relationships are based on what we're willing and not willing to do for one another. They're how we show our love and support for one another, and the social activities that we share also bind our relationship together. And caregiving changes relationships. And in that change, you have the opportunity to negotiate a new relationship, as I did with my mother when I became her caregiver. When you look at relationships through the lens of a contract, you can actually negotiate in ways that allows you to be in a relationship that's healthy, maybe even more healthy than the initial relationship. So my book is filled with a lot of stories, and this one I call the bedtime story. It starts when my father was hospitalized November of 2014 with congestive heart failure. I moved back into my family home to be my mom's caregiver because that was the role my dad played. For 2 weeks, I was at the hospital multiple times. I was back home to care for my mother multiple times throughout the day, and I was still trying to keep up my job. I was beyond exhausted. Now, at this point, my parents were married for 61 years, and they'd been together for almost 70. So they'd had lots of time to create that contract. And one of the parts of their contract was their bedtime routine. My dad would take my mother's blood sugar, put her eye drops in her eyes, bring what she needed to brush her teeth from the bathroom into the kitchen and then back into the bathroom, shut the curtains, turn down the bed, make sure she had clothes in the morning, and water by her bedside. It was a lot to do just before bed. Now, my mom assumed that I could keep that up in the same way that my dad had, because after all, that was their contract, and why would she think there was anything different, anything that was going to change? I, on the other hand, just assumed I had to keep it up because I didn't know any better. I was new to being my mom's caregiver. But every night, I could feel myself tense up and get angry at everything I had to do before I could go to bed. And I realized I couldn't keep this routine up and maintain my health and my sanity. Finally, one day I said, Mom, can we talk? I am exhausted and overwhelmed. It would help me if we could change one thing in your bedtime routine. Let's find a place in the kitchen where we can leave your toothbrush and toothpaste so you can get it. Where do you think is a good place? Now, I'm going to be honest. In the beginning, she wasn't thrilled with the idea. But we renegotiated a place in the kitchen that she felt comfortable with and did not require that I had to bring it from the bathroom into the kitchen every night. Here's the most important part of this. It was the first time I asked her to change the contract she had had with my dad, and was also the first time that I renegotiated our contract, the contract we had had as mother-daughter. In the book, you're going to learn the importance of language and using I statements, how to pick the best time and place to have what I call an intentional conversation, and really how to get from a no to a yes using an open-ended question. This bedtime story is just one of many personal stories in the book that highlight how to have what I call an intentional conversation that allows you to set boundaries, ask for and say yes to help, and even create a support network. I invite you to use the 20% discount on my author page to buy the book and to start to begin to renegotiate your contract with your loved one. It is never too late. Thanks. Enjoy the rest of the conference.